Like I said, we're talking issues on security. Yeah, security issues today, and it has to do with the prisoners that escaped, broke out of jail in Nigeria. Yes, so more than 1,800 prisoners escaped in Nigeria. Now the attack. Now they didn't just break out. The prison itself was attacked. So the attackers reportedly entered the prison yard in the southeastern gate town of Owerri by using explosives to blast the administrative block. Now, six prisoners have reportedly returned, while 35 refused to escape. Police have accused the banned separatist group, the indigenous people of Biafra, of carrying out the attack. It has reportedly denied involvement. Now, the Nigerian Correctional Service has confirmed that 1,844 inmates escaped from the jail in Imo State. Heavily armed men stormed the Owerri custodial center in the early hours of Monday after arriving in pickup trucks and buses. Now, a police spokesperson said the attackers carried rocket-propelled grenades, machine guns, explosives, and rifles. Where did they get these ammunitions? Where did they get these weapons? Where? It's just mind-baffling, honestly. Now, well, on the issue of this particular break, the president, Muhammadu Buhari, also relieved the IGP of his, position, and has appointed the DIG, that is the Deputy Inspector General, to be acting at the moment. So I don't know where the problem is. Is it the IGP is not doing his job, or is it these criminals are hardened criminals to the extent that they have the guts to attack a prison yard? We used to watch these things in the movies and think it's just fiction, it's just someone's story, but it is real and it's happening in Nigeria, 2 countries away from Ghana. Well, Hafiz Gunner is here, and we're going to be talking about the implications because recently, a couple of days back, the Ghanaian police service has actually apprehended some 9 Nigerians who were trying to illegally get into Ghana. Now they were apprehended. Some 9 Nigerians who illegally entered entered Ghana on Sunday have been arrested for illegally entering after crossing Volta River. Now they were arrested by the Ada District Police Command in the Greater Accra region. Now this comes weeks after 1,000 over 1,800 prisoners in Nigeria broke jail on April 5. So we should be scared. Actually, this is the one that we know about. What if we don't know? What about the ones that we do not know of? I'm still trying to establish contact with the PRO of the Ghana Immigration Service to tell us some of the implications. What are they doing? Are they deploying more men at the borders, or what exactly is the plan? Maybe he may not reveal everything, but at least give us a picture of what the plan is like. Hafiz is here with us. Here will be some conversation on the implications. Are you scared?
Scared? I don't know.
Mixed feelings, huh?
Yeah, sort of.
And I don't know, but honestly, let me ask mommy. Mommy,
Very
are you scared
of
of
prisoners
issues
who
in
have broken
insecurity? Yeah,
being in the country.
yeah.
Not really.
Not really, yeah.
No.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when things like this happen, we feel like as humans, we condition our minds to think, oh, it's far away from me.
Yeah, but you'd never know. You'd never know.
I
Anyway.
know, right?
Okay, Hafiz,
Barry.
you say you don't know. Anyway, tell me why you don't know.
Well, is it? Well, it's sort of an endorsement, or on the part of our security services on the good works they are doing. Maybe.
Yep.
Yes,
Because I mean, this is a commendable one they did. Nabbing
Anyway,
9
so-
already.
But then, talking about security, matters of security, especially in Nigeria. I mean, when you look at Nigeria and the recent happenings, especially in matters of security,
Right.
it doesn't look like a country that is on top of issues there. It doesn't. I mean, they seem to have lost a handle on things over there when it comes to security.
Yeah.
I mean, matters ranging from the Chibok girls
Yeah.
involving Boko Haram
Mm-hmm.
to police brutality, where
Yep.
it culminated in the NSAS
Yeah.
protest
Sauce.
we saw,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
and Boko Haram itself, and all that they are doing,
Yeah.
and the issues of now jailbreaks. Now, speaking of jailbreaks, issues of jailbreaks in Nigeria isn't exactly new.
Mm.
We've heard of countless stories since way back in
I
2010.
think at the beginning of COVID, there was one that
Look,
It was
happened.
during the
a
SARS.
lot.
It was
During
during
the
the
SARS rather,
SARS
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
protest.
Now, during the NSAS, like she mentioned,
Mm.
and that was somewhere October 2020, just last year,
Yeah.
the Ido prison. We saw a lot. There was a jailbreak there, and when that happened, even one of the inmates that escaped there went straight to the house of, a person that testified in his hearing
You gotta be kidding
and
me.
hacked the person to death. So we've seen that happen. Now in Ikoyi,
Really?
it also happened, but in that instance, I think it was contained. But it
Mm.
actually there was an attempt, so
Yeah.
it was contained, but then not without the loss of lives.
Mm.
So the prison guards had to do a lot of damage,
Mm.
and some were killed in the process. Now move from there to Bauchi, even in 2010, where some 50 gunmen, stormed the prisons there, and then ended up freeing about 721 inmates.
Before my
Yeah.
question is the guts they have to storm these security places.
Look, Barry, it ranges from two things when these things happen. One, usually there's one that is coordinated, that is planned out very well by people that are, that some way somehow have been sponsored.
Okay.
Yes, and that they have access to all these artillery when it comes to guns and weapons and everything.
Right.
So that way they plan them and they come and attack. Now there are instances to where you realize it's just a crime of opportunity. The
Okay.
person didn't plan it. It's just an
But some
opportunity.
way somehow
Exactly.
it
The
felt
situation there presented itself, and he decided to take
to
it.
take it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what am I even saying? In Ghana here, earlier this month, a police of 12 inmates of a prison, I think, were escaped, and that was because the police
Yeah.
officer there tried to put in, another inmate, only for him to have hot porridge poured on him, and these guys
Yeah.
escaped.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was an
you
opportunity.
just
for
see it, you
yes.
know, yeah.
So maybe they see it as a lax in security, so they take that opportunity and they are out because they want to be out there. But I think largely, if you look at the happenings in the and security prisons and everything, I think it's largely an indictment on the justice system, and not just in Nigeria, but since it's Nigeria we're discussing, but also in Ghana to some extent. I mean, because you see, it's a system that thrives on punity. I mean, it's more punitive, really. It's not rehabilitative. The whole
Right.
idea is
Yeah.
to punish you when you do wrong.
Wrong,
It's not
yeah.
to
reform you.
rehabilitate you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're having people that engage in petty thefts or traffic violations that are thrown in there, and God help you, you get in there, and you don't have someone on the outside fighting for you. You get lost in the
And you
system.
get out, you become something else.
I remember interacting with a police friend, and he was talking about how he had to take this inmate to the court,
Okay.
and this guy was lost in the system because I mean he was supposed to do 3 years max, and he had done 5 years already
Oh.
before he appeared before the judge.
So that's even
Yes,
a
the system owed him.
possibility. Yeah. So yeah.
So exactly. So the judge didn't even waste time. He had to let him go. So these are some of the shortfalls. Because and even when you look at the prison systems that that sort of houses these inmates,
Okay.
is a problem in itself. In a place like Port Harcourt that has a prison where it's supposed to naturally house about 800 inmates, guess what? We are talking about some 4,000 now.
Well, that's not far away from the story right
Exactly.
here.
Yes. So if you look at the numbers and the prisons, it's not looking so good, especially in Nigeria.
Okay.
If largely when you look at Nigeria, you are talking about some 240 prisons in the entire country, and out of the 240, it has the capacity to take about 50,153. Currently, we are talking about some 74,000 prisoners in Nigeria,
74,000.
and of the 74,000, we are talking some 70% that are in there that are awaiting trial
Say on remand.
on
kind
remand,
of thing.
basically. So these are things that are happening, and one of the issues that is feeding this whole situation is the fact that there's this culture of arbitrary arrest that is also ongoing.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened with
With
the
the
NSAS. And
SARS thing,
basically,
yeah. Suspected people.
not suspect, because, I mean, you are walking on the streets. I mean, you have ordinary Nigerians getting profiled for the way they look.
Yeah.
Profiled. Okay, you're wearing dreadlocks, you have
You're
tattoos,
carrying an expensive phone,
an
a
iPhone.
gadget or something. Oh, so you're not supposed to hold an iPhone then.
Exactly.
I mean, Charlie.
Carrying a laptop, and
Mhm.
I mean, you get questioned by the police, and before you know it, you are behind bars. Okay, people getting thrown into prison for all manner of stuff. So
Yeah.
these things keep happening. Now, lastly, to answer the very first question you posed about how are people this gutsy,
Yeah.
how do they, even do it?
Grenades.
Now, unfortunately, if you take Nigeria in itself, it has a situation of proliferation of arms. Okay, where these light arms aren't exactly controlled. Now, if you look at the statistics, it's not so good either. Now, according to the United Nations Regional Center for
Right.
Peace and Disarmament, out of about 500 million of such weapons circulating in West Africa,
Okay.
and listen to this, Nigeria is home to about 350
350.
millions of such weapons. We're talking about some 70%. The whole of this sub-region. So
Now that's
these
scary.
exactly. So these are weapons that would definitely end up in the hands of these questionable
Yeah.
characters that would use it to perpetrate. I mean, because what is a criminal doing with an RPG? Where did you get that? Anyway, so it's quite sad, really.
Exactly. Well, this is actually, I mean, a cause for an alarm, for neighboring countries, because when they flee, they would definitely end up in neighboring countries, because that is where they would they would seek refuge, because in Nigeria they would be hunted for, and nobody would want to go back to jail. So let me hear my mate, so I'll get back to Hafiz as well. Mommy,
Bye.
yeah, they have broken out of jail, and they didn't just break out of jail. Actually, they were assisted.
It's like
Because
they
they
were
are-
inside the jail.
Yeah.
According to the stories I read,
Uh-huh.
it was started from the outside.
Yeah, yeah. They
It was
attack outside.
gunmen.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think there's a bigger picture to this. Because according to the report I read, the Nigerian police, the authorities, are pinning the blame of the attack on a group known as the indigenous people of
Yeah, the Biafra people.
the Biafra people. And experts who have looked into it are saying that if they're saying it's these people who did it, then they're most likely, even though the leader of the group has come out to say it wasn't them,
Right.
but experts are saying they're most likely to have done it because most of the people in that group are unlawfully targeted and detained by
Right.
the Nigerian security
Okay.
forces.
So it may be so.
So talk about how Hafiz mentioned how people are sometimes on remand for 2 years, for 3 years before going to
Case has
prison.
not been handled.
We're on the
yeah.
outside, and my colleague or my friend, a member of my group, is on remand, and his case is not going to court. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's some of these actions of these security forces that push the people to do the things that they do.
Well, the Biafra issue is also another one. Those are that's the successionist group in Nigeria.
Yes, group in
They
Nigeria.
have been advocating for a breakaway from Nigeria since the time of their leader Ojukwu, back in the days, and it didn't happen. So, but one way or the other, you go on the internet, you find the flags here and there and everything. So they're kind of like those ones people are
Hafiz is
pointing fingers
asking
at.
how so.
Yeah.
Because here's a situation where we're looking at a country where young ladies, young men are just arrested just because they look some way. You even said it.
Okay.
So you've arrested my family member, you've arrested my friend, my colleague, whoever. The person is in jail right now. The person's case is not going to court.
Right.
And it's not going to court because he didn't do anything
But it doesn't
criminal.
justify.
Exactly.
But it
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying. That's what I'm
justify.
saying. It's not a good thing.
your
It's not good
act.
that
Mhm.
day, because here when jailbreaks happen, there's a loss of life. There's damage to property and all
Yeah.
of that. That's what I'm saying. It's not good. It's not a good thing. But there's some of these actions that push people to do the things that they do.
Okay, let's talk about here and other neighboring countries as well. I believe per this news, it would further, push these security services to tighten or strengthen their borders and what have you. But so far, our security service, the Ghana Police Service, they actually nabbed 9 suspected out of the thousands. It has not been confirmed if these were also part of the escaped, what do you call it,
Inmates.
inmates yet.
Okay.
But I mean, why would you want to sneak through a country illegally? Well, there are a number of people doing so. But the thing is,
Mm.
I am happy that they have been, apprehended and possibly going to be answering some questions.
And
Why the illegal,
and you know
you
the
know,
problem I have with Nigeria?
Mm.
Everything that happens in Nigeria is blamed on terrorism instead of actually going to find the root cause and trying to fix
right? But anyway, Hafiz,
Well,
so
one
far,
has very strong opinions today.
I know, right? So far, our security service is able to apprehend 9
Yeah.
Nigerians.
But, yes, before I come to that,
Mm.
I mean, yes, she's made some very interesting points.
Mm.
But you see, when you talk about, this whole jailbreak and stuff, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time you find that these things happen because it's a way of even recruiting the members. Some of them die in
Yeah.
frontline battles.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Mm-hmm.
when these jailbreaks happens, they come out. Because sometimes when they target a particular place, they know there are certain members of them that are incarcerated, so they
Yeah.
want to
So
get
they
them
want to
out.
get them out. Yeah.
And chances are they're also going to get new recruits because these guys, when they're on the run
Mm-hmm.
with no place to hide, of course they would offer them, a safe haven.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when they actually get them, suck them back into
Mhm.
the life of crime that they were probably trying to run away from.
Mm.
So it's a revolving cycle anyway. But talking about what you mentioned, the implications, with Ghana and everything.
Yeah.
And Ghana is the most likely destination for these guys because
Oh yeah. Well, more go now. More go
Anglophone.
Ghana.
Exactly.
More go Ghana.
But thankfully, our borders are supposed to be locked
Yeah.
up, and
Mhm.
but here's the case: we still have them coming in and out. And,
Right.
Uh, but when you talk about matters of security, you see, 80 to 90% of security matters is based on one thing: intelligence, or
Yeah.
information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your security is only as good as your intelligence,
Right.
and that is why there's supposed to be that inter-agency cooperation of some sort.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the intelligence services and your information is going to be put to the test. How you cooperate
Yeah.
with all
Communication
these
should be top notch. Yes.
where
Mhm.
with these agencies to be
Yeah.
able to get ahead of issues,
Right.
because you don't want to be lagging behind. You don't want to be playing catch up. You want to be a step
Up
ahead
to
of these
speed with
with,
every necessary
with them.
info.
Because in situations where you're not up to speed, you find that you end up cleaning up their mess. Now, in the United States, I think even before 9/11, they had a similar situation with the FBI and the CIA, where these agencies were not cooperating. Now, guess what? Those that hijacked the plane, turns out these two agencies had very good information on these guys,
But they
but
refused to
to
share.
share information.
Detrimental.
So after that, they had to do a lot of changes, make a lot of changes rather to their system.
Free flow of information.
Exactly,
Yeah.
to encourage that.
Mm.
So even in the fight currently that we are seeing in the sub-region, I think recently we are seeing Chad, Mauritania,
Yes, Chad. You
you
just
know,
mentioned
Burkina
Chad.
and Mali and all that
Yeah.
come together to share information too.
Again, let me
That's
just
all this.
express my deepest condolence again to the people of Chad. I mean, they lost their president, and I mean, in a brave manner. Trust me, a man who went to visit his soldiers, and they are there, protecting the nation against rebels, fighting rebels, these militants and what have you.
How did he go out?
Sorry,
How did he go out?
how did he go out? How did he go out?
As in died
No, he sustained injuries.
from?
Details has not been revealed yet,
Okay.
but injuries. We don't know if it's a bullet, if it's a bomb, or whatever it is. But per reports that we have, per reports that is out there, he sustained injuries, and upon flying him to N'Djamena, the capital city, he didn't make it, and that happened today.
Anyway,
So condolences.
Yeah, condolences. So we are seeing some of these interagency cooperations that would essentially translate into better
Right.
security. Because you see, look, when these things happen, a lot of people are living on the edge, especially in communities where these prison facilities are found.
Right.
Okay, and some of these guys that come out, some immediately have a bone to pick. Like the case of the guy that simply went to someone that testified and hacked them to death. We have situations like that. And there are also situations where you find that people that have these, encounters with these criminals
Okay.
sometimes never leave the same. Okay, you are someone that is thrown into prison for say petty theft. You end up getting polluted in that system more or less
Mm.
because a lot of the time it just it just ends up being a reunion for criminals if they
Right.
stay long enough. They are
Mm.
there and then the gang is back together. Hey, we are back, and then they go out and it's business as usual.
Mm.
So it has to be managed properly, especially because we need to start turning away from the punishment bit.
Okay.
Rehabilitate. In this same gun, I think the incarceration of this young lady that's posted one or two things out there has generated all kinds of debate.
One would
I
ask,
don't know.
how is she going to be
So is she
reformed?
being punished or
Mm-hmm.
she is the goal to rehabilitate her? So
Well,
that's the question we need to be asking.
exactly.
Yes. So it's almost like, well, going there, we are punishing you.
Mm.
But okay, so what next when she comes out?
Yeah.
Does
What
it
next?
exactly solve the problem or what?
Mm.
So we have a long way to go. We really have a long way to go in trying to reform our systems and trying to humanize these systems.
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost like when you are in there, you are considered less than human. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen a certain musician go into one of the prisons and came out and he was making donations. So it's like he had a lot of stories to tell. So,
And yeah, that's the thing. That is absolutely the thing. And you see, I read a certain article a couple of days back, and it says a young boy was refused admission to one of the SHS schools because he was an ex-convict.
wow.
You see, this is where the problem comes in because if he was that, deviant boy before and then he got in and God being good, maybe he's reformed and then he gets out. He may not be the same person. So why
This-
don't you give him the chance for him to prove himself? So imagine.
You see, the system that doesn't even that's another problem. It doesn't exactly make it easy for you to reintegrate. Okay, because as an ex-con, immediately when you are out, there are certain jobs you can kiss goodbye. Don't even think of applying for.
Mm.
Imagine you were harboring the desire to join, say, the BNI or to join the.
That wouldn't work
I'm
out.
laughing.
I mean,
Exactly.
clearly, that's like a
Once
no-go
they check and you
area
have
for
a criminal record, you
Yeah.
can kiss that dream goodbye. So
Mm.
these things happen. So
But education,
education, exactly. So
education.
it's supposed to be a right.
Mm.
It's supposed to be something
Absolutely.
that you're not denied
Yeah.
for whatever reason. But
Not
we've seen
because
people
he's an
denied
ex-convict.
even education for less. Yes. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you should imagine. All right, let me pick my final one from Mami, then to Hafiz, and then we can wrap up and delve into our next bit. Mami?
Barry.
Yeah, so our Ghanaian police, they've actually caught some 9 Nigerians trying to illegally sneaking.
Oh,
then-
and I read some of them have actually gone back to jail.
How many? Out of 1,800, over 1,800, we have
4 or
about like
5.
12, 5.
But
Those-
I mean, they went back willingly.
Oh,
don't get all of them. That's
no, but you
that's
can,
a lot.
but that's just a minute number.
Barry.
But
at
we
least
commend them. They've done well.
Yes.
Yeah.
they have gone back to serve their sentences. And my last words will be to agree with Hafiz
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that the justice system in the sub-region, the countries in the sub-region, should look at reforming more than punishing.
Yeah.
Because we are hearing stories of how the prisons are so packed,
Mm-hmm.
they have to line them up to sleep. You have to stand by walls and then sleep
Yeah.
and all of
You
that.
sleep in turns, actually. Child, that's terrible. That is
Really?
terrible. Yeah. I read this guy. He's like, you sleep in turns. Someone lays down there for 2-3 hours, and then he gets up. You take the turn, and yes, that's how bad it is sometimes, and it's a
So,
terrible place to
Yeah,
be
so
at.
we should the justice system should look at more reformation than punishing, in the sense that
Mm-hmm.
we have I think one of the things they could inculcate is community service.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we see lots of things around that needs to be done, and there's nobody to do them. So
Exactly.
instead of packing these young ones, instead of packing, like Hafiz said, instead of sending them to prisons where it becomes a reunion of criminals, Why don't you make them do something that will benefit the nation
Exactly.
and benefits themselves in the long run? Because somebody could be doing community service and through that learn a trade.
Exactly.
Because we all know how easy it isn't for ex-cons to get work.
Well, they're supposed to learn trades in there as well. Carpentry, electrician, and blah blah blah. But
Do they?
well, they do. Some of them. I wonder how it is like, but they do.
These days they even
do.
take exams in there. And everything.
Wow. See. So well, but then again, it still boils down to the same old problem.
The job opportunities
Is the issue. So if you're not able to establish yourself as an
Then
entrepreneur, if
and
you
then,
come out,
let's
you
say
face
you
another
come back
problem.
out and then you don't have a job. You have to fend for yourself. Then it's back
Absolutely.
to my old ways.
The thing is, it's not even those who may be your potential employers. Even your family members would have issues with you. Some feel like, nah, this guy, I never trust you.
And should
Because
we
I've
also
seen it
stop
firsthand.
treating ex-cons like they are
And
humans?
I also want to say that I think our legal system should also pay attention to these remand system thing. It's really really
It's-
damaging sometimes. I watched this TV show and this guy has been in remand for 10 good years, 1 decade. His case has not and he even said he's sure that his file is even missing. No, yes, that's how
Bad it is.
bad it is. So if your file is missing, how would they know the
What are
case,
they- what are they
your
charging
charges?
you
But wait, why are we even keeping documents all together, all these stacks of papers? Why? Why are we doing that? There are computers for a reason, anyway.
Oh God! So I think it's a really
you don't know what to get into that conversation.
it's a big it's a big issue. That for me is the whole thing, because if one gets charged, goes to court,
and then maybe he's fine. Or
fine,
he's made to do
but
something.
the moment they say you are on remand,
you
God,
should-
it's
you
it's
should
It's the
pray.
hope that kills, because you see, you are not in there permanently, but
you
then you
are
are not out there.
But you're
You just feel
incarcerated, like you're
So it's like
incarcerated.
you're
So like,
hanging.
Yeah, exactly. You're in between.
I mean, I'd rather know my fate. If I'm not coming out again,
you
so
are,
be
you are
it.
the ghost of the
And
prison
it will
system.
And it will
So,
surprise you that most of these people who are on remand for doing tiny, petty things.
That's what we're saying. For instance, the
Traffic
polos
offences and all that.
exactly.
let's
Let's do communi-
Oh, but Polo is
Petty.
not on remand. Polo has been sentenced. Polo is actually
But
not on remand.
honestly,
She has been sentenced.
honestly speaking,
Yeah.
yes, I think this remand thing should really be. I think it should be the point of focus at the moment, because most of these inmates are on remand.
remand. Yes.
Yeah,
They haven't
they're on
been
remand.
charged and they haven't been tried.
The
and
guy was
anything like
speaking,
that.
look,
It's true.
Barry's in his fields.
I felt
but
I was
actually-
so emotional at that time, because I felt so. Then they asked him, what did he do? He said, if he says something right now, he may be lying. The papers should come and say what he did, or the charges should be the best thing to say. Because he doesn't want to say it, and like, he's lying. We know people who say that,
So for such a person, he gets in there.
God.
Now, here's it. People out there aren't exactly watching his back. No
No.
one is running around to take care of
The
whatever
last
it is he
time
wants.
someone paid
Now
a visit to him was 2 years
Exactly.
ago.
So he's in there, and there's a hardened criminal that has taken interest in him.
Oh yeah, they share ideas. They go
They
like, you
share
know what?
ideas.
We- oh yeah.
What a
That-
way to put
what
it,
did-
anyway. But yeah,
He
consider
tells
that
his,
they're
his
sharing.
weakness, and he tells you, no, you can make it better.
Exactly. And before you know
You
it,
know?
well, they are bonding. And, well,
It's terrible.
so
I
but
mean,
it's not all bad. I mean, Atai went to prison and Atai is now a man of God.
I had
He's
that.
an exception. He's an exception to the rule.
But this goes out to every jurisdiction, every
the
government
justice
across
system should
Africa,
be
every
looked at.
justice system should definitely take a look at this, and let's strengthen our security systems as well. And like Hafiz says, intelligence, very, very necessary. I mean, we saw the outcome with per what Hafiz said with the 9/11 thing, but at least some reforms and some changes have been made, and now it's actually working perfectly well. But let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that these criminals don't come into our areas and everything, because we're already dealing with the ones here. We're not even done yet.
see,
Yeah, Hafiz.
not to cut you quickly. You see, the thing with Nigeria and even the intelligence systems, a lot of the time, some Western countries that used to cooperate with the Nigerian security services and cooperate and believe that there are moles in the
In the system, exactly,
that are,
yeah.
yes, that are not helping. So
Exactly.
there's a leakage of information,
Especially
somewhere.
with the fight against Boko Haram. There's been
Exactly.
conversations surrounding that
Now,
area.
and even now, I think the day before yesterday, it's been
Yeah.
trending. Resign Pantami. I don't know if you've caught that.
Pantami. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Pantami, I think we had a conversation surrounding
Exactly,
him.
and
That
that's
he-
their communications.
He's the head of
yes.
the NIA, National
Yes, communications minister, Issa
something. Yeah,
Pantami.
yeah.
Yes, and because of certain things he may have said or he said in a video decades ago, now it's coming back to haunt him. So, I mean, with Nigeria, it's you don't really understand with even with Boko Haram
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
that is happening.
They talk about
Okay.
it. We know their location. The next minute, they're not there.
They are not there.
What's happening?
Exactly.
Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for joining in. And that's all we have, my mate.
I was just saying, sometimes, like I said earlier, sometimes they should try to find the root cause of the problems instead of just blaming terrorists.
On other people. All
Because
right.
for all you know, terrorists are bad people who do bad things.
Right.
But sometimes there are other people who are doing things under the cover of terrorists because they know if we go to do this,
Right.
they will blame
They will
terrorists
blame it on
because
terrorism.
they are known for doing such things. Sometimes they should try to find the root cause
Okay.
of it
Proper
all.
investigations,
And
yes, should take
we're
place.
just saying we hope the president of Nigeria recovers soon.
Yeah.
He's actually in London for medical checks.
Yeah.
As usual.
He's back.
No, he's back.
Yeah, that's why he fired the IGP, actually. So. Well, thank you very much for joining us.